Welcome to the English classes conducted by State Council of Educational Research and Training, Uttarakhand. I am Kamaksha Mishra, working in SCERT Uttarakhand, and here we are going to discuss NCERT textbook for class 6th, Honeysuckle. So let's begin. Today we are going to discuss another short poem from class 6 NCERT English textbook, and the title of the poem is The Quarrel. Its poet is Eleanor Fargion. It is from Unit 2 of our English textbook, Honeysuckle. So let's begin with our poem today, written by Eleanor Fargion, and the title is The Quarrel. Here in this session, we are going to discuss the poem. We'll recite the poem with its correct pronunciation, proper stress, rhythm, and intonation. Then we'll discuss some difficult words with their meanings. Apart from this, there are some rhyming words also used in the poem that will also be discussed. Then there are some group of words, that is phrases, used in the poem that will be discussed. And finally, the comprehension questions given in the book. Now this is the page from the textbook itself, and I'll read the poem in a single flow. After that, I'll read it line by line, and you all are supposed to listen to it very carefully, and then you have to repeat after me. So are you all ready? Let us begin. Now let's ponder over the lines that are written on top of the poem. The quarrel. Quarrel means a fight. It is common for brothers and sisters to quarrel, although sometimes they may not even be able to say why they quarrel. But how long do such quarrels last? How do they end? यहाँ पोएट हमें बताना चाहती है कि ब्रदर्स और सिस्टर्स में फाइट होना या छोटी छोटी लड़ाइयाँ होना बड़ी कॉमन बात है, बड़ी आम बात है, जबकि कभी कभी उन्हें पता ही नहीं होता कि वो लड़ क्यों रहे हैं. इस तरीके की जो छोटी लड़ाइयाँ होती हैं, जो क्वारल्स होती हैं, वो कितनी देर चलती हैं और वो कैसे ख़त्म होती हैं, ये हम इस पोएम में जानेंगे. सो नाउ लेट्स read the poem, and you are supposed to listen to it very, very attentively. I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. The start of it was slight, the end of it was strong, and he said he was right. I knew he was wrong. We hailed one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back and said, "Oh, come along. We can't go on all night. I was in the wrong, so he was in the right." Written by Eleanor Fargion. Now please listen to it once again. I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. The start of it was slight, the end of it was strong. He said he was right. I knew he was wrong. We hated one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back and said, "Oh, come along. We can't go on all night. I was in the wrong, so he was in the right." Now, I'll read the line one by one and you'll repeat after me. Whatever word you find difficult to pronounce, please write its pronunciation. Like suppose this is quarreled. You can write it like this so that you can help yourself out and recite the poem and read it aloud. I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. The start of it was slight, the end of it was strong. He said he was right. I knew he was wrong. We hated one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back and said, "Oh, come along. We can't go on all night. I was in the wrong, so he was in the right." I hope you must have repeated it after me. And now let's ponder over the summary of the poem. What does the poem say? What does the poet wish to convey? What does the poet say? Just look at that. This poem deals with a quarrel between a brother and a sister. The poetess recalls one such incident when she had a fight with her brother. There was no specific reason for their quarrel. Initially, the reason was very small, then one thing led to another, and the fight became serious. Her brother was sure that he was right, whereas the sister knew that he was wrong. Due to the quarrel, they both started hating each other and marked that day as a black day. Their afternoon was ruined because of the fight. Then suddenly, the poet's brother hit her on her back and told her that they shouldn't go on fighting the whole night. He told that it was his mistake and he was sorry. The poetess also realized her mistake and forgave. ये पोएम एक भाई और बहन की लड़ाई से संबंधित है. पोएटस या कवयित्री एक ऐसी इंसिडेंट्स को रिकॉल करती है अपने दिमाग में. एक ऐसी इंसिडेंट्स, एक ऐसा वाकया उसे याद आता है जब वो अपने ब्रदर के साथ लड़ती है. उसका कोई स्पेसिफिक रीज़न नहीं था, कोई विशेष रीज़न उनकी क्वेरल, उनकी लड़ाई का नहीं था. इनिशियली शुरुआत में वो रीज़न बहुत छोटा सा था, लेकिन एक बात से दूसरी बात बढ़ती गई और अचानक से सब कुछ बहुत सीरियस हो गया. उसके ब्रदर को पूरा विश्वास था कि वो बिल्कुल सही है, जबकि पोएटस या जो सिस्टर थी वो जानती थी कि उसका ब्रदर गलत है, वो गलत बोल रहा है, रॉन्ग बोल रहा है. इस क्वेरल की वजह से उन दोनों ने एक दूसरे से ईर्ष्या शुरू कर दी. वो एक दूसरे से चिढ़ने लगे, एक दूसरे से नफरत करने लगे और उस दिन को उन्होंने बिल्कुल ब्लैक डे घोषित कर दिया. ब्लैक डे क्यों घोषित कर दिया? क्योंकि उनका पूरा दिन बर्बाद हो गया था, उनकी दोपहर बर्बाद हो गई थी उस लड़ाई की वजह से. तब अचानक पोएटस के ब्रदर ने उसको पीछे से थपकी दी और कहा कि उन्हें इस तरीके से रात भर लड़ते नहीं रहना चाहिए. उसके ब्रदर ने अपनी गलती मान ली, अपनी मिस्टेक मान ली और सॉरी कहा, रिग्रेट किया, माफी मांग ली. पोएटस को भी रियलाइज हुआ कि उसकी भी गलती थी और उसने फिर अपने ब्रदर को माफ कर दिया. और उनका ये झगड़ा, उनका ये मामला सुलझ गया. So this is all about a small quarrel between a brother and a sister that took a very huge form. एक छोटी सी लड़ाई जिसने बहुत बड़ा रूप ले लिया था. Now let's discuss the words and meanings that we've come across the text. The first word is quarreled. Quarreled means fought या लड़ने लगे, लड़े. Slight, slight means very small, बहुत छोटी बात पे लड़ाई हो गई. Suddenly, suddenly means very quickly और अचानक जिसे हम बोलते हैं. Thumbed, thumbed means to hit somebody with a closed hand. थपकी देना या थपथपाना, पैट करना. Turned black means got dark or unpleasant. बुरा, जो अच्छा न लगे. Come along means go with someone, which we call chalo aao. Let's move on. Let's sit together and talk. Kind of a feeling. Now here's one question for you all. And here we want you to list out the rhyming words in the poem. One word is already given here. You have to refer to the text and find the rhyming word for this word. Like brother rhymes with another. Rhyming means the words that rhyme together or the words that end with the similar sound. Similarly, another word is slight. If you will refer the text, you will find out that for slight, we have a word called right. So you can refer to the text and find the word slight rhymes with right. I hope you have your textbooks in front of you and you can very easily refer to the text and find the correct word. I'll wait for your response here. Now the next word is strong and you have to find a rhyming word that is given in the first stanza of the poem, and that is, I hope you all must have found out, it is wrong. Strong, wrong. Ong. Ong is common in both these words. Then the next word is black, and take your time and find a word from the stanza, and you will find that in the second stanza of the poem, there's a word that is given out here in the third line, and that it is back. Black, back. Ack, ack. This is the rhyming sound. Along, again rhymes with wrong. Night rhymes with right. So we've come to know that words which end up with the same phonic sound are called rhyming words. So here brother rhymes with another, slight rhymes with right, strong rhymes with wrong, black rhymes with back, along rhymes with wrong, and finally night rhymes with right. Now here's another question for you all. There are some phrases also used in the poem. Now one question is, what are phrases? Phrases actually are group of words that are used together to make the meaning or to make that sentence more meaningful. So here just one example I've given here, and it is fell out. You must be remembering the poem. In the fourth line, it said, one thing led to another and somehow we fell out. One thing led to another and somehow we fell out. The context is that the poetess started quarreling with her brother and she didn't know the reason of that quarrel. And what happened? The quarrel started growing because one thing led to another means it started growing with time as they just started fighting. So, and somehow we fell out means, and somehow it became a big issue. Fell out means became an issue, became a grave issue. कुछ ज्यादा ही बड़ा बखेड़ा खड़ा हो गया तो हम इसको बोलते हैं it became an issue. Then similarly, if you'll refer to the second stanza of the poem, you'll find out one more phrase, and that is afternoon turned black. What did the poet say? She says, we hated one another because they were into a fight, they were into a quarrel, so they started hating one another. अब वो लड़ाई कर ही रहे थे तो उन्होंने एक दूसरे से ईर्ष्या करना या एक दूसरे से नफरत करना भी शुरू कर दिया. We hated one another, the afternoon turned black. Means, what happened? The afternoon suddenly became unpleasant. सारा माहौल खराब हो गया था बिकॉज द आफ्टरनून वॉज रूइंड. पूरी दोपहर खराब हो गई उनकी इसी चक्कर में, तो उनको दिन ही नहीं अच्छा लग रहा था. इट सीम्ड टू देम एज इफ द होल आफ्टरनून टर्न्ड ब्लैक. यानी कि दोपहर का समय था और इतना खिला हुआ समय था, इट वॉज फुल सन आउटसाइड, और उनका मूड खराब था. इट हैड स्पॉइल्ड देयर मूड, सो इट टर्न्ड ब्लैक. इट बिकेम सडनली अनप्लेजेंट. Then one more phrase is there, and it is come along. This is described in the last 4 lines when the poetess and her brother were cross. After some time, her brother realized his mistake and he came and thumped on the back of his sister. वो अपनी बहन के पीठ पर हाथ मारता है और उसको क्या बोलता है? Oh, come along. We can't go on all night. उसे रियलाइज होता है कि चलो आओ, सामने आओ, सामने आना, और वी कॉल इट अपीयर. कम इन फ्रंट यानी कि चलो आओ बात करते हैं, सामने आओ. एंड क्यों आओ? क्योंकि अब हम इस लड़ाई के साथ पूरी रात भर नहीं रह सकते. सो लेट्स पैच अप. अब आइए और इसको अब हम खत्म करते हैं. तो फिर वो क्या बोलता है? वी कांट गो on all night. I was in the wrong, so he was in the right. वो finally accept करता है कि हाँ मैं गलत था, और जब वो कहता है कि वो गलत था तो पोएटस बोलती है कि असल में अब वो सही था, क्योंकि अब वो सही समझा कि वो गलत कर रहा था, उसने गलत किया. तो ये phrases होते हैं. phrases means group of words that convey a meaning. जब कुछ words के groups, वर्ड्स का समूह जब किसी मीनिंग को कन्वे करने के लिए यूज किया जाता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड अ फ्रेज. सो वीव कम अक्रॉस 3 phrases in these 2 stanzas of the poem. First one was fell out. Fell out means became an issue or a grave issue. Turned black. Turned black means became unpleasant. And the third one is come along, that is appear. Now here are some questions to test your understanding. Please listen to the questions carefully and try to find their answers. Who is fighting with whom? Who is fighting with whom? The poetess is fighting with her brother. पोएटस की लड़ाई हो रही है किससे? अपने ब्रदर से. The poetess is fighting with her brother. What happened in the end? लास्ट में क्या हुआ? लास्ट में क्या हुआ? क्या हुआ था लास्ट में? They gave up their fight. लास्ट में क्या हुआ? उन्होंने अपनी फाइट खत्म कर दी. They gave up their fight. Her brother He realized his mistake and said sorry and she forgave her brother. उसके ब्रदर ने उससे सॉरी बोल दिया और उसने अपने ब्रदर को माफ कर दिया. सो ये हमारी पोएम थी. एंड वन मोर थिंग that I want you all to do is there is one home assignment also. What you have to do is you have to give 5 reasons. Give 5 reasons of a quarrel. किसी भी क्वारल के कोई भी क्वारल होती है आपके बीच में होती है या आपके ब्रदर सिस्टर के बीच में, दो सिस्टर्स के बीच में या ब्रदर्स के बीच में, फ्रेंड्स के बीच में कभी भी क्वारल होती है, फाइट होती है, तो उसके कौन से 5 रीजंस हो सकते हैं, 5 रीजंस क्या हो सकते हैं, वो आपने जॉट डाउन करने हैं, आपने फाइंड आउट करके रखने हैं, ढूंढने हैं. क्योंकि कोई भी क्वारल होती है तो उसका कोई रीजन भी होता है, चाहे वो छोटा हो या बड़ा हो, बट देयर इज अ रीजन बिहाइंड अ क्वारल. सो यू हैव टू फाइंड दैट रीजन. So what all we've discussed in this poem, let's have a quick recap of those things. First of all, we read the poem with proper stress, rhythm and intonation. Then we discussed the difficult words with their meanings. Then we had a comprehension question regarding the rhyming words used in the poem. There were some phrases also that were used in the poem, and the comprehension questions that we came across to understand the text. That's all about the poem today that we've read in today's session, and we'll come back with another poem for you. Till then, bye-bye. So children, I hope you all must have gone through the topic thoroughly. You must have understood all the concepts. And along with this, I would request you all to please practice it again and again so that you'll be able to do good with your English and in your classes. All the best to you. See you soon. Bye-bye.